out there? Heavy Montae here. Welcome to the Heavy Montae's Morning Show, October 19th, 2025. Now in America, 7 million people showed up yesterday. It was a great day, a great protest. The No Kings protest. 7 million people. 7 million people came out to tell the Republican Party, Mike Johnson, Mega Mike Johnson, and a group of liars who said it was a hate protest, but there was no violence, unlike the January 6th, whatever they did to the Capitol, like defecating on the floor of the Capitol, marching a Confederate flag through the Capitol America, tearing the place up. That was violence, you know. But the Republican Party, along with their criminal president, you know, they are doing nothing for the American people. Now they're telling us, America, that the Democratic Party has shut down the government when they are in full control. Abolish the filibuster, you know. Donald Trump, he's always, pushing people and saying, I don't give a damn. I am the king, which he's not. You know what I'm saying? He's an asshole. Okay, America, you know it, and I know it. You see what I'm trying to tell you? So now they're saying that Chuck Schumer, because they always got somebody to blame. Nancy Pelosi. They say horrible things about people when their leader is a convict, huh? And they say possibly a pedophile. Not America, you know. 77 million maggots voted for a racist, misogynist pig, in the opinion of Heavy Montae. But you 77 million people have eyes and you have ears. And it's time for you to come on board. And I told you, join the Heavy Montes, register as a Democrat, drive and get your name off of that. Huh? Repent, they say, in your church. And maybe God might forgive you for what you did to a great nation. Now, Heavy Monte want to get here. He want to talk a little bit about one of his favorite reporters, Joy Reid. Well, Joy Reid was an excellent reporter. And Joy Reid was talking on every show, in my opinion, and taking the time to explain the plight of racism in America. You know, and Donald Trump and the Republican Party did not want her to show those videos, of her on her show saying, last year, 2 years ago, I showed you what Donald Trump was going to do. That's an effective person when they can go back to the past, to verify what happened in the future and all in the present America. Now, so they want to get rid of her, you see. But Joy Reid has a new show, I understand, on the internet. Heavy Monday has not checked it out yet, but I have joined a couple of groups. I want everybody to support her. Okay, America. I want to go on and talk. The reason I brought her up is because Donald Trump and the Republican Party is continually playing the race card. And we black folk, to be honest with you, we're laughing at them now. We think they're ridiculous because the lies that they're telling to the people is ridiculous lies. One of the big ones is that black people are taking up their space, playing and trying to take their place. You know what I'm saying? They thought about it. They said, well, no, there are not enough black folk, but the Spanish people are about 14%, so we can use them as victims, okay, and come up with a hoax, like Trump say, to control the masses of so-called white people and white ideology. You see, they said white ideology is more important than having health care for your family. Huh? You know what I'm saying? Because those people are not like you see? But that was a lie because we is nothing more, together than the American people. I'm telling you, you don't know. You see a black man like Clarence Thomas, he might be a white man. They say you see a black man like Heavy Monte driving down the street playing boots, scoot, and boogie, he might be a white man. You see America? America is America. And these people are trying to tear apart the fabric of the nation. You know what I'm trying to say? Now I argue with my liberal friends, and I say things like, I should really try to pull everybody together. You see what I'm trying to tell you? And they'll say, no, don't do that. You know, say be mean. And when I say, yeah, I'm mean, they say, yeah, mean is good. What I'm trying to tell you, it's according to who you are. Now, Heavy Montae will like to spread love and bring everybody together. Because I'm like this, okay? Let's say I'm a white man, you know. Don't make a mistake now. I'm a black man. Say I'm a white man living today. I would not take ownership to none of that slavery shit, okay? You know what I'm saying? Because my ancestors had nothing to do with that shit. And I would be working hard. And I would be saying to government, you mean to tell me that you enslaved these black folks and did all this shit to these black people, and now you telling me, that you want to harm these people and not give them shit, and these people are taking our space? You full of shit. That's what I tell them. Sometimes I tell you, that's the fairness of the nation because we are one. We tell the truth. You know, the Native Americans were wiped out. Spanish land was stolen. You see what I'm trying to tell you? Blacks were slaves. You see? That's history, America. History builds a great nation. You see what I'm saying? Now, and look at it this way. All you racists out there, who is more patriotic than black people? The slave that fought for his country. Hmm? But it wasn't his country at the time. Yeah? Yeah? The man who fought, you know, in a war, in wars in foreign countries and died, huh? For his country. You see what I'm trying to tell you? And came back to his country and couldn't even use a bathroom. Black people. You see what I'm saying? But that does not take away and make black people weak. It makes us strong. You get it? And when we are strong, all Americans are strong because we can all say, no matter what color we are, that we are all black people at one time. Huh? When the government turned bad. You see what I'm trying to tell you? Now, the government is bad today in America. Huh? The government is attacking all of us. That's why Heavy Monte cries and say, come together right now. The next march we have, or whatever you call it, the next No King's Day, you need to double it to 14 million Americans. And you people in the red state, stop being afraid. Now, you're afraid because the maggots control everything down there. The police force, the sheriffs, all these little small towns and shit. You can't talk. They'll come and get your ass, huh? But you have your vote in the red states because in the red states, you're hostages. You're slaves. You just don't know it. You understand? You just don't know it. You've given all your power to a corrupt, criminal Republican Party. Now, Heavy Monte, I want to talk a little bit about what I saw yesterday. I saw peaceful protests. I saw the world looking at us and saying, these Americans are really fighting and trying to get their country back, you see, you know, and we are. We do not have a country right now. We have a corrupt government designed to protect a criminal president, huh? A Supreme Court, the maggot six, the maggot six, traitors to the nation. And I say, in my opinion, they are traitors. Anytime you lie to get on a court, you lie. Now, me and you go into court, okay, and tell a big fat lie, you know, we're going to go to jail most likely. You know what I'm saying? But the people on the Supreme Court can hold their hands up and swear to something, and now they're on the Supreme Court. They got to go. That's all. It's enough. Huh? They need to. Okay, did you tell the truth or not? That's the question. Hmm? Is Donald Trump a pervert or not? Is he a pedophile or not? Did he grab women by the private parts or not? Is the Republican Party a corrupt cult? Huh? Satanic cult? Are they or not? Hmm? Did the preacher in your church who told you that Donald Trump was going to make America great again through your preacher? You see what I'm trying to tell you, America? You know, the racism, okay, is an ideology. Okay, that's why I said to everybody, racism exists. Tim Scott, you understand? In countries where all the people are black, the racism exists. You know, the Houthis killing these guys in these countries. You understand? They're all black now because of the ideology, huh? Of we are superior to you, the Irish against the Catholics. We are superior. The Muslims against the Christians. One side saying we are superior. You see, America, we don't play that shit in America. In America, you worship, be who you want to be. You know, in the red states, you know, be who you want to be. You know what I'm saying? You don't give that shit up for a king. You understand? You know, you're free. You're free to be by yourself. You understand? And I want them to give the white people, the so-called white people, all the freedom they want. If they don't want to send their kids to the black school, long you pay for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever, do it. You know what I'm saying? Just leave us the hell alone. Live in your island. Huh? That's the freedom that you have. But you do not have the right to push that bullshit on Heavy Montae. You know, do your thing. You know, if you were so happy in your life, you wouldn't be doing this. And you would not give us a criminal president. This is Heavy Monte for the Heavy Monte Sunday show. Saying, everybody, I want to thank you for being out there yesterday and at the No Kings. That's right. No Kings, we don't want to pay America. We don't want to pay. Take your ass back to England. And especially Donald Trump, he the king. He a sloppy looking Joe coming. I tell you what, it reminds me of the nursery rhyme. Say, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a big fall, and all the king horses and all the king men could not put Humpty Dumpty big ass back together again. Huh? You can't put together back together a rapist. You can't put together a pedophile. You can't put back together a Russian spy. You cannot put together a taco. You cannot put together one of the worst human beings in the world and the most hated individual on earth. You can't put it back together. Harry told you. All right, please subscribe to the Heavy Monte YouTube channel. I wish you had some fun, but I have to tell you one story, before I leave. It's story time with Heavy Monte. Now, when I, you know, was fighting forest fires, I fight forest fires, right? And I want to tell you a little story about racism in America. So the Alaska Fire Service is a racist organization. Okay, so heavy, my grandfather always told me. He said, if the white man tries some stuff, you try it. So I want to fight fires. So anyway, I went out, took the test, made all the physical qualifications, became a firefighter. And the first thing I did, I wanted to be a commissary officer, to set up the fires, buy everything for everybody, get the fires going. So I took with the school, became a commissary officer. But the first day, man, somebody told me, if you take your big black ass out there to the Alaska Fire Service, so they don't want no black people on that. Yeah, I said, shit, I'm going. So I went. And anyway, somebody handed me a mask, they put across your heads for gnats, because the gnats in Alaska are big like mosquitoes. I'm serious. Imagine a bunch of gnats that big attacking your ass. So they flew me around in a small plane. I was scared to death, man. I don't like to fly anymore. And I was flying this little small plane. I had to fly to all these little small towns and shit. And they just land, boom, and they do the shit and do a little work and go to these native villages. Because I'm a commissary manager and I'm hiring these people to work, put up a fire. You know. Anyway, so here we are, flying around, flying around, flying around, flying around. The gnats eating my ass up. I stood for almost an hour and a half, but the gnats eating my ass and nobody talked to me, left alone. You know what's around you? Bears, B-A-R, wolves and shit. You know what I'm saying? You out in the bush. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I stood there for hours shaking and shit. And then they picked me up and they took me back. So I went to the EEO office. That's the racial place where you file a complaint. And I told Cliff, you know, Cliff Lagans, that's his name. I said, Cliff, these jokers were racist, man. They did me wrong out there, man. I almost died out there, man. A bear could have hit my ass. He said, "You crazy son of a gun?" He's the EO officer. He said he did the same damn thing to me. He black. You'll take your ass back out there again. But Heavy slipped. So there was a fire team called the Blue Mountain Fire Team out of California, right? And I fought on some fires with them and shit. So they were calling me out because they needed commissary people, to set up these fires. I was going all over the place to McCall and all this stuff. And one day, our director saw me at the airport with all my fire shit, my backpack and everything coming back. And he said, "Heavy, where the hell you at? We need people fighting in Alaska." I said, "Man, I'm not ever gonna fight a fire for the Alaska Fire Service." And I never have. I said, "I'm not doing that shit. I almost died." You understand what I'm trying to tell you, America? This is we don't need no racists in America because these racists could have killed Heavy. I could have been bear meat. That's my story. So the message I'm trying to say there is do not be a racist. Love everybody, even the maggots. This is Heavy Monte. Say, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Have a great day.